Today we are getting ready to leave Lake Hills, Texas for our 1-week trek to Arizona. Join us. So after leaving Lake Hills, Texas, our first stop was in Camp Verde, Texas at the Camp Verde General Store off Bandera Highway 173. So the Camp Verde General Store is absolutely beautiful. If you get over to this area, come and take a look. It's actually 2 stories and has a restaurant as well. You'll love it. Also, if you're wondering why it's taking us 7 days to get to Arizona, it's because we don't really like to drive more than 200-250 miles in one day. We find that if we try to do more than that, then we can't make the stops we want to stop while we're enjoying the actual journey and all the wonderful places that there are to stop along the way. So that's just kind of our rule. And remember that we're pretty new to full-time traveling, and so we're figuring it out as we go. And also, if you're wondering how we know where it is we would like to stop, I use Google My Maps, which is different than Google Maps. You have to be logged into Chrome, into your Google account, logged into your Gmail account, and then just search on Google My Maps, and it allows you to create your itinerary and your traveling route and all the stops you would like along the way. So if you want to know more about that, you can search it on YouTube, and it shows you how to use the application. I love it. It's really our #1 tool right now for planning our trips. Guys, I'm hoping that the wind isn't too bad on this recording, but we're at the Prayer Gardens in Kerrville, Texas, and this place is incredible. It's free to get in. There are lots of statues and representations of Christ's life and death and sacrifice, and it is just incredible. You can bring your own rocks with prayers on them for your family, friends, this country, and you can leave them in the prayer garden where people will pray over all of the prayers that the people have brought. It is incredible. There's no cost. It's beautiful. So we stopped at a picnic area right outside of Kerrville, and we're making a sandwich. It's awesome having your home on the road. It really is. We're just gonna eat, and then we're gonna hit the road again. There's an RV broke down on the side of the road, and Paul went to see if he could help. It looks like they're broke down, but I see he's coming back, so they might be okay. Either that or he's getting tools out. Maybe he's getting tools out. Nope. They okay?
Yeah, had a blowout. They're waiting on roadside.
Oh, okay.
So we're out part of their trailer.
Oh no.
Having a blowout. Anyway, see if they need any help.
Hope your fellow man. So for those of you who have not been following us, we are recently retired, meaning that we've lived full-time in our Airstream, but prior, all of our trips have been taken on weekends and maybe for a week on PTO. So we stayed in Texas, and this week we're very excited because this is actually our first out-of-state trip in our Airstream. So it's a first for us. We're at the Sonora, Texas Safety Rest Area. Gonna take a look inside. Sometimes you can find rest areas that are so cool, and they have like little museums inside of them almost, and historical information. It's pretty cool. So it might seem silly to be showing you rest areas, but we're just trying to give you a glimpse into full-time traveling and what it's like. We hit a lot of these rest areas also because we have a dog. And when you're traveling with dogs and you get to driving in for those longer hours, the dogs, they gotta go. They need a break. They need to stretch their legs as well. And we definitely want to enjoy our journey and not feel rushed or tired, or Paul gets cramps in his legs. So we just make sure we stop a lot. It's the next day and we're actually getting ready to go. You could see Paul behind me finishing up some things. So we got to our new destination yesterday, and I wanted to tell you about it because in full-time traveling, this is something that you may come across, and we certainly did for the first time ever. So I told you yesterday that when we research where we're gonna stop, I use Google My Maps. Most of us use the internet when planning our trips. So I found a park that was midway between point A and point B that we only needed for a layover. We pulled up to the RV park, and I'm just gonna show you what it is that we came to. So obviously when we drove up, this is not an RV park, and I was very anxiety ridden, feeling like that we had been deceived, and now we're in the middle of a very small town that doesn't have a whole lot in it. There was a guy outside as we were on the main road, and he's waving us to pull in a certain driveway. And I had talked to this man, his name is Latham, on the phone, and he sounds very nice. I was like, that must be Latham. Now, I have questions. And I said, is this an RV park? And he said, yes, it is. I said, it doesn't look like an RV park. So he explained that this used to be an RV park when his grandmother was alive and she ran it, and that she had passed away the previous year, and that a lot of the people that were staying here had left due to whatever reason, and that he was trying to get it cleaned up, and he was having issues with, I guess, certifications and stuff. And so anyway, he was working on all of that so that he could make this an RV park again. So we ended up pulling up and deciding that he seems okay. It does seem safe. We're not leaving the RV. We had no plans to leave the RV and explore the area. So we stayed the night, and it was an uneventful night. I say all of that because y'all know I'm wordy, to say that when you get on the road and you're traveling, you're going to have times of uncertainty like this. And sometimes when you look at something, a appearance-wise, when you're on the road, it can be contradictory to the way that it really is. Because we were safe last night. Latham is a wonderful guy. Looking back, if I could know what I know now, I probably would not have booked here, but we did, and it ended up being okay. So you know, we're new at full-time traveling, and I'm sure we're going to hit things like this again. And so I just wanted to share that with you, that this can happen, and it was okay. Our goal is to get to Davis Mountain State Park, so come on, let's get started. One of the things that we love about traveling is the continual different landscape, plants, scenery. It's just incredible. We're at a rest area. Our goal is in a few hours we will be at Davis Mountain State Park, and we're excited to be there. We're excited for the journey though. The journey is what I love the most. So we are at Flying J's in Fort Stockton. Paul's topping off on gas. We always get a discount at Flying J's with our Good Sam's membership card, so keep that in mind. Jaxie is not sure what to do with all this gravel. He's like, I'm supposed to pee on this? So the guy that worked here said that Jaxie could come in. He's on a leash, and as long as we're watching him, so we just brought him in with us so we can look around. We had to take Jaxie out. He's started shaking. He got scared. So he's doing good though. He's come a long way. He has a lot of fears, Jaxie does. We've had to work through them one at a time. We're taking our wins and just accepting that he's got a lot of fears. So also during these stops, frequent rest areas that we stop at, Paul does walk-arounds through the entire vehicle. He looks at the tires, he just kind of looks under the rig, he just checks everything out to make sure there's nothing obvious. We'll unlock the door, look on the inside to make sure nothing's broke or fallen, or, you know, for the most part, these roads have been pretty good. We have hit some stretches where the road looks like it's good, but there's just a lot of bouncing going on, and so you have to always check. Everything okay?
Yeah, everything good.
So we're in the town of, and I might be butchering this name, but it sounds like it's right, Balmorhea, near Fort Davis, and population 479. So Balmorhea has its own state park, and this is originally where we were going to stay. But at the time that we tried to book for some reason they weren't accepting any bookings. I don't know if they were doing maintenance on their sites or what. So that's when we ended up booking Davis Mountain State Park instead. But it is beautiful here. So I think I mentioned before that we have an RV Garmin. Looks like a little iPad. When you have an RV Garmin, what makes it special to RVs is that you put in the size, length, and height of your RV, and it alerts you and will put you on roads meant for what you're hauling. It will not take you directions where there is a bridge that is too low for your height. What we have discovered today in today's trip is that it will also alert you if there are high lateral winds. These are the winds that you've seen on the news where actually will blow over semi-trucks. So if you're coming up in an area of mountains that has high lateral winds, it will warn you. It will also, we're going around a lot of curves and up a lot of hills, it will flash a message if the curve is going to be sharp curve. Sometimes you get into something and it's not what you expected, and so it gives you a lot of warnings knowing that you're pulling a trailer. It's very helpful, but as with any of these type of devices, you have to continually put it online and update the maps because they don't update real time like Google Maps do. So the suggestion of one of our sons that is a truck driver was to put your directions in the RV Garmin, but also have your phone set to Google Maps. Just a tip for you. It was great advice from our son and we are following it, so hope that helps. Have any of y'all ever been into the mountains? Leave me a comment below how you feel about it. It's pretty spectacular to see. I'm going to end the video here, but I wanted to talk to you about something. I wanted to tell you that, you know, I've been thinking about my channel lately and some changes that I could make and what I wanted for this channel, and I really want to be able to be real with you guys, and that means not only the good times and the happy times, which there are many, but also the struggles that we have. And it's not that I haven't wanted to share the flip side with you, it's just because I want to keep everything super positive. We are super passionate about traveling, if you can't tell. And that passion and excitement and happiness about traveling in this lifestyle is super genuine. There are always going to be pros and cons about every lifestyle, no matter what lifestyle it is. And we have mentioned things that are challenges. So I'm going to tell you one of the challenges we had this week, which was very difficult. So if you guys saw the Rockport video in real time, that was a few weeks ago. And that, we had so much fun. And if you haven't seen that video, go back and watch it. That video and that time with my daughter and my grandkids was also ground zero for us all being exposed to COVID. And my daughter and her husband and all of my grandchildren did come down with COVID. My grandchildren are fine. My daughter and my son-in-law are getting over the worst of it. But there was a time, and Paul and I are fine. We're 2 weeks out since we've seen any of them, and we don't have any symptoms. Paul and I have been vaccinated, in case you're wondering. My daughter and her family has not been vaccinated. And when it hits you that someone in your family back home, wherever that may be, is sick, that is one of the biggest challenges of traveling away from family. Everything about what we're doing right now is a choice to do it, and it's because we love it so much. And then there's things like that that can be very difficult. You do have to be careful out on the road. One of the great things about traveling is that you can pretty much stay to yourself. You don't have to be around a lot of people if you don't want to, or you can. The choice is yours. So it's been several weeks. Paul and I are good. My family is back home and they're on the upswing from COVID. And so you guys stay safe out there, okay? We love you guys. Next week's video will be about Davis Mountain, and I'm super excited to share it with you. I'm super excited to share all of our travels with you, and I hope that you like that. So, love you guys. Don't forget, live simply, dream big, and do life. Bye.